Alright guys, welcome back to Persona 3 Reload. Last time we met in Persona 3 Reload, we just returned from Yakushima, and now actually I believe we're just going back to Social Link parts in general. I believe we're actually going to be starting out with doing Akihiko's Linked episode, and I'm not even going to pretend to try to come up with a tangent for this one, because I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about it now. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that just happened, because at the time of this recording, I literally just finished watching it, and well, I want to talk about it because there is a lot to unpack with it, and for one, I'm already sold on it. I'm already planning on getting it when I'm not probably not directly at launch. Probably going to wait a couple weeks after. I'm probably going to wait a couple weeks, or maybe it depends on my financial situation at the moment. I already plan on selling my PS4 Pro for it, mainly because I never use the damn thing, thanks to having a PS5 with a disc drive. And, you know, since I have a PS5 with the disc drive, I can play PS4 games on it. And so I just never use the damn thing anymore. But the reason, you know, I'm very much sold on the Nintendo Switch 2 is because, holy hell, the specs on it are the things they went over were really good. Now, for one, the only thing that I genuinely don't give a fuck about is the game chat feature, because it's, in my eyes, it's literally just Discord with a few extra features. And at least to me, you know, you can video chat and mic and with your friends online and stuff like that, but a lot of the functions that they were talking about, you can just do on Discord already. You know, and I know people are like, well, you can't just stream Nintendo Switch games on Discord. If you have a capture card, you can. You know, if you're like me and have a capture card, yeah, you can stream Nintendo Switch games on Discord no matter what. But that's really all it is. That's the only feature that I just genuinely didn't give a fuck about. The other stuff, though, I actually took some notes on what the features were for it, because I'm also was keeping notes for work, because I was gonna summarize. I'm gonna summarize what the Switch 2 features were gonna be when the Direct was. So first off, in terms of like graphics and stuff like that, the screen itself for the handheld is going to be is going to be 1080, but when you dock it, it's going to be up to 4K with 120 FPS and HDR support. So basically, it's a bit of a jump for the Nintendo Switch, because if I remember correctly, the screen for the handheld mode on the original Switch, I'm talking original, I'm not talking about OLED or anything like that, I believe it was just 720 for the handheld, and then it was 1080 for docked. But, you know, looking at the gameplay footage that they revealed for like Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 version and Breath of the Wild Switch 2 version, it looks really good. Now, of course, you know, that could have been Nintendo editing the video or, you know, rendering it out to make it look better and stuff like that than it actually was. But at the same time, I have faith that it looks good. And plus, I was planning on getting a new Switch I was planning on getting a Switch 2 eventually anyway. One, Prime 4. We all knew that Prime 4 was going to be getting on the Nintendo Switch 2. I figured it would be either a launch title or a very close to launch title for the Switch 2. But there were some other surprises that got me with the Switch 2 Direct. For one, Elden Ring was getting released on the Switch 2, which really surprised me, because that just means, oh, if it can run Elden Ring, then I'm pretty sure it can run a lot more than just that. Then again, I mean, technically, the Switch 1 can run Mortal Kombat 1, just not well. So, but I mean, looking at the gameplay footage that they showed for Elden Ring, I forgot what the version was called, because there's like 4 fucking versions of Elden Ring at this point, I think. I'm not interested in Elden Ring by any means, by the way. I've never cared for Elden Ring. But like, you know, looking at the gameplay footage, you know, it looked fine. I think I think it was a little choppy on the frame rate, but again, I don't really know. That also could have been the stream, in all honesty, because the stream was a little chaotic, especially towards the tail end, where at one point the stream just froze for no reason, and then and I think there was a bit of an audio issue with it because there were some audio delays. There was some delayed audio for now. Now I wouldn't know if it was the English dubbing over the Japanese for the Nintendo developers that were on screen, but I could kind of tell when the English speaking developers were talking, because it just looked delayed, and also the little click that they always do for Nintendo Switch titles did sound a little delayed. But I mean, overall, the Direct itself was pretty good. There were a few things that I kind of gathered was gonna be the case for the Switch 2, in all honesty. You know, for one, they started off showing us shit we already knew, which was Mario Kart World. I mean, I guess technically it wasn't, we didn't know it was called Mario Kart World, we just knew it as Mario Kart 9, but it might as well be Mario Kart 9. Like, we all knew that there was going to be a new Mario Kart, but, what was I saying? But, like, they also revealed some stuff that I kind of didn't really expect them to reveal. For one, the fact that the GameCube games are going to be on Nintendo Switch 2. Which really does explain why Wind Waker HD hasn't been released, and probably not Twilight Princess HD, because they want you to use the GameCube subscription, maybe. I mean, it's still possible for them to release it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Metroid Prime 1 doesn't appear in the GameCube Nintendo Switch Online Classics thing, because of the fact that they want you to get the remaster and pay money for that instead. But like Prime 2 and 3, or at least Prime 2, would probably stay on that too. I don't know, though. I mean, I still have my GameCube. I still have some of the games that are on the GameCube. In fact, you know, I have Wind Waker and Wind Waker HD, so I have plenty of ways to play Wind Waker. So, you know, that alone didn't really sell me on the Nintendo Switch. Really, the thing that sold me on the Nintendo Switch was like the fact that the gameplay is going to be much smoother and stuff like that, you know, especially for games like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, which really now makes me want to replay Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because I love those games, I really do. But, you know, my main thing about it was always that the graphics were just so, whatchamacallit, like the graphics for the original Switch, for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the graphics were fine. They were passable. The only thing is that the frame rate did tank occasionally, especially in Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild, I didn't really notice it that much, at least not recently. I haven't played Breath of the Wild since I 100%ed it back in 2017, or when it came out. I haven't played it ever since I beat the Champions Ballad DLC, or all the DLC in general for Breath of the Wild. But, excuse me. Whatchamacallit? You know, the enhanced editions, you know, I am a little angry that we probably do have to pay a pretty, I don't know how much they're planning on charging for the upgrades for certain games, because there are certain games that are going to get like Nintendo Switch 2 enhancements, but if you have the Nintendo Switch version, you can pay a little less, I'm assuming, I would hope anyway, for the enhanced version for the Nintendo Switch 2. Again, I am making a bold assumption there, because of, I'm making a bold assumption there, because I know the PS5 does this, where certain games, if you have the PS4 version, but you want to get the enhanced PS5 version, you have to pay a little bit extra money for it. I think Ghost of Tsushima is one of them, where I had to pay $10.99 if I wanted the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima for PS5, but I still have to insert my PS4 version if I want to do that. I know Final Fantasy VII Remake did that too. So again, it could very much be, you know, just $10 if you have the Switch version, or it could be $70 if you want the Switch 2 version with the case. Oh, by the way, this is a small thing. I'm gonna get back on topic for just a split second here. The game, you are actually going to lose days here with your social, because the track team is going to force you into a bit of a training regimen for a tournament or something, or a competition coming up. So for the next few days, so not I don't think it's these days, but it's in the next couple of weeks. You're going to be forced to do those with you're going to be forced to do those instead of normal socialing stuff. And I do believe, since the game does force you to join a sports club eventually, because I forgot to mention that, you are forced to join a sports club after a while, because of eventually, if you don't spend time, because eventually if you don't get one, Toriumi will pull you into the faculty office, and she will not let you leave until you sign up. So just keep that in mind. Or no, I think she'll just, like, no matter what dialogue prompts you pick, she'll just say, "Oh, what's that? I can't hear you. I think I hear you saying, 'Yes, Miss Toriumi, I will gladly sign up.'" And then she'll just sign you up anyway. But, back to the Switch 2. But I'm very sold on it. I don't care what people say. I know there's some people out there already going like, "Oh, if Nintendo Switch 2's not even as powerful as an Xbox Series X or a PC that I could build." And I'm like, okay, I don't care. You know, one, I always get a Nintendo console because Nintendo does have legitimately great exclusive games like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and some others, you know, stuff like that. You know, I find myself enjoying those kind of games. So I don't care that, and I'm sorry to say this, but I actually do like paying for games. You know, I like playing games legally because I believe in a little thing called supporting the developers. Now, oh shit, that's me. Sorry, I wanted to hear Studiopolis for a second. Yeah, that was my ringtone for... Someone called me. I don't know who, but someone called me, and I don't know that number. What was I saying? I believe in supporting the developers. Now, I will not. I will admit that I am. You know, there are instances where I have emulated games that are probably like over 20 years old. You know, something like, oh, I don't know, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Then yeah, I'm fine with that because they're not getting any money out of that. But now that they're adding it to the GameCube, Nintendo Switch thing, I did see that. You know, I'll play it legitimately on Nintendo Switch 2's GameCube feature. But oh, too late, kid. Anyway, yeah, Ken's gonna be staying here over the summer if we forgot about that. But, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2, yeah, it looks like a very big improvement. There are a couple of features I don't really intend on using, like the mouse feature. I don't think I'd use that. I've never really been one for mouse and keyboard controls, so I feel like the mouse thing might not be really that great. At least that's just me personally. I mean, I might try it for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond when that comes out. But if Prime 4 releases on Switch, and I don't have a Switch 2 yet, because it is on Switch, it will be on regular Switch, but I don't have a Switch 2 yet, I'll just buy Prime 4 for Switch, and then, you know, upgrade it eventually to Switch 2, when I do get into Switch 2, but I don't know how much I'm probably gonna go trade in my, trade in my PS4 Pro at, like, Vintage Stock or something. I know I'm not gonna get a lot of cash for it. It's probably going to be like, probably like $80 knowing my luck. Mainly because, you know, it's in good condition. Really the only thing is I just got to dust it off and format it. And I have 2 controllers with it, so that might help me with it. That might help my case a little bit. I don't think I have the cables for the controllers, but I still have the controllers, mind you, so. But, you know, I'm gonna check it later today, make sure it still actually, you know, works. I mean, I'm pretty sure it does. I haven't used it in like, I just haven't used it since the PS4 came out. I mean, PS5 came out. So, you know, it's just been sitting. It's been sitting on my next to my other consoles, just gathering dust. It gathered more dust than my Wii U. I actually use my Wii U more often than I use my PS4 Pro. That's kind of crazy. Well, I mean, I use the Wii U just for like Twilight Princess or Wind Waker HD or the occasional Metroid Prime. Now I can't use it for that, but again, from what I've gathered, I think I saw a thing on, someone sent me a text saying that it's going to be $450. So that's actually, and plus with my employee discount at my job, that's probably going to be a little bit less for me. So I'm hoping that I get it soon, and I look forward to it. I'm probably going to be hiding that cash somewhere in my room. I don't know where yet, and I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to say where. I have a bunch of hiding places for stuff in my room that not a lot of people think to look in.
I'd say you've gotten your money's worth at this point. My time is worth at least 100,000 yen per hour, you know. Just think of all the free advice I've given you.
I'm not doing that. But, I mean, in terms of predictions for how I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to go from here on out after... Okay, yeah, this is when they're starting to force me into the, No, not today. Okay, maybe, I think it's next week then. By the way, since you're now in summer break, you will not be able to do daytime social. You won't be able to do any of your school social links until summer break is over. So you have to do. So yeah. So unfortunately, I am stuck not doing regular social links because of, well, I don't have the ability to. And yeah, unfortunately, I already finished Maya. So I have I can't do Maya today, and I'm pretty sure my schedule is trying to tell me to do to hang out with Maya for the day. But unfortunately, I finished her social link early, so I got to choose somebody else or do something completely different. But so I just decided to study for no reason. Man, first day of summer break and you're studying? Wow, fucking nerd. Man. I'm sorry. Had to say that. Anyway. I mean, then again, I am top of the class for all the exams, so I'm definitely a fucking nerd.
Oh, hello.
Oh, and that's our tutorial for Be Blue. That's actually where you can relearn skills that you've forgotten, especially for your party members. So say for some reason you want to go back to the medium level skill for Akihiko's lightning, then you can go to Be Blue and you can relearn that. You can also work there and get some extra yen for that if you want to. That's just, again, okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to stay on topic for once because this is a new social link, I believe. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up our next social link, which is the tower social link. This one you learn a little bit from Yuko, and your courage has to also be a high level, for one, to even get in here in the first place, and then two, in order to actually talk to him. But since, you know, I'm at max level for courage, we can do it. But he's asking for a drink, and what you have to do in order to actually initiate his social link is you have to take some drink orders. Now, what the game expects you to do is to go and actually talk to them. Me, I already memorized what they wanted, so I just knew what they wanted. You know, so just follow what I do on screen. I think one of them was a margarita, Bloody Mary, and then a screwdriver. Oh, one more. Oolong tea. Yeah. Yeah, and if you get them right, you could, yeah, if you get them all right, you can start the social link.
Oh, hey. All right. Oh, hey. Oh, where's my drink?
But the tower social link, you can only hang out with him on at night. So he is another social nighttime social link, similar to Tanaka.
Still in high school? What are the employees here thinking? Like someone like you in? Well, since you got me a drink, I'll pretend I'm your guardian so you don't get thrown out of here. Take a seat. Well, come on, kids, sit down. I'm gonna look up at you, straining my neck.
By the way, I love this. I love this dude's voice actor. I don't remember who it is, but I love how he sounds because he sounds like he smokes 10 packs a day. Which, you know, it is very possible considering his portrait has a fucking cigar in his hand. Like, he sounds like one of those stereotypical. Like, he sounds like one of those commercials where you know, they warn you about the dangers of smoking. It's like, I've been smoking for 20 years. Like, he just sounds like he smokes like 20 packs a day, you know, which is very possible considering he has a cigar in his hand, but it's just like, then again, I don't know. But, yeah, this social link, you know, it's a pretty standard one in all honesty. It's not the best one out there. In fact, I don't really care for it. I kind of forget this one exists sometimes.
Always think the grass is greener on the other side. Well, don't get your hopes up too high. That way, you won't be disappointed when things don't work
But
out.
I actually do. But back to the Switch 2 because fuck it, I'm almost done with this part anyway. I mean, I'm gonna buy the Switch 2 around launch, probably at launch, depending on my financial situation. Because, you know, since I'm back to full time at my job, I'm getting a little more money than usual, and plus, I mean, I could probably get away with making that stupid purchase if I just don't make any major purchases for the next couple of months. I mean, it's in June, and we are currently in April, so if I just save probably an extra $300, I'd probably have enough by the time. Like, if I save, like, probably 100 out of every paycheck, I'd probably have more than enough by that time. Plus, with selling my PS4 and its controllers in the first place would really help me out.
Well, when you've had your fill, hit the road. Don't come back.
Hell, if I wanted to, I could sell those Pokemon cards I have sitting in a shoebox in my house somewhere. I gotta find them though. I don't remember where they put them. I know I have them. I know they are in this house because I do remember putting them somewhere. I just don't remember where I put them is the thing, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, that's going to do it for this part of Persona 3 Reload, even though I focused on, like, the Nintendo Switch 2 for about 80% of it. But, I'm going to, you know, I'll see you guys next week for more Persona 3 Reload. Hopefully, I will stay on topic for once. Probably not, knowing me, you know, they'll probably reveal the Persona 4 remake, which I do need to get more in depth with, because I didn't do that back in the part that I mentioned it. I mentioned it like once, and I haven't talked about it, but I will get more into that probably in the near future, especially when, like, we get an actual trailer or something. I don't know. But I will see you guys next time for whatever happens next, and take care.